Oh, they just start with a... Okay, never mind. I thought it's gonna be immediately like a trailer or something.
Hello and welcome to episode 2 of Night City Wire. This is the show from us at CD Projekt Red, where we talk about all things Cyberpunk 2077. In today's episode, we're going to be deep diving into Life Paths and showing you a brand new gameplay video, as well as having a chat to Philip from our quest team.
So exactly what they said before.
Then we're going behind the scenes and taking a look at how Refused are bringing the band Samurai to life. And then we're showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Carl, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that'll be at your disposal in Night City. So let's get started.
Cool.
Street Kid, Nomad, or Corpo? Which will you pick first?
I'm not sure, man. I mean, I would take Street Kid, but I was reading about the main quests, and I kinda like the Nomad one too. Nomad quest is about delivering like a package to the city. Yeah, but I think I'm gonna go Street Kid too.
Who do we have here?
Grew up in Haywood. The whole street was my family. Neighbors helped each other out. Thought nothing of it.
I'm pleased to see you have not forgotten your roots.
Born here, live here, die here.
Childhood memories. Hopping buildings, running away from badges. Iron tasted blood from a split lip.
Motherfucker.
Got everybody fighting for a slice of the street.
Oh, I wonder if there's races.
Get the fuck out of Vista.
If you keep getting jumped, you
Probably
find
there is
some
races.
Do you want to spend the rest of your days blasting scabs? Or become a legend overnight?
We have arrived. The Major.
Ready to get your cherry bobbed? Yeah, come on.
Yeah, they're gonna be just showing like
My childhood. Let's see.
quick
Racing my
videos.
bobber for the first time through the hills.
This is exactly what people were able to play.
First kiss
The
in the middle of the
journalists.
cornfield.
We nomads choose who to make our family.
So I like the quest of this one,
Choice
but
forges strong
the backstory
bonds
not
of higher
really.
duty that stands solid as an old oak.
But the quest seems cool.
family's in pieces.
Delivering a
That's
package
why
you
I'm
don't
headed
know
for
what's
Night
inside.
City.
Makes you an outcast among outcasts.
Miss this, you know? Camaraderie.
I know. I saw it in your heart the first time we met. Know what I always liked about nomads? Your taste, no, hunger for freedom. Not easy to come by in Night City. Corp's got their grubby claws and everything.
Okay, dismemberment. Yeah, I'm probably not gonna be a corporate. That's like a
They were
second
supposed to be
playthrough.
ready yesterday.
The world's going to tear us apart when the word gets around.
The world's never going to find out.
If I go down, you're going down with me. No! I'm not fucking joking.
This isn't a request, V.
But no way you're fucked, right? You're the one who fixes other people's shit.
If you work in Arasaka counter intel, you're always fucked.
Today, they got you to zero somebody. Tomorrow, they'll get somebody else to zero you.
What's the rules, Jack? Want to be top? Gotta have some skin in the game.
Yeah, but you're not on top. Saburo Arasaka is. And you're the pendeja who keeps him there. Work for yourself, live for yourself. That's the only way.
Yeah, that's my second playthrough. Definitely not the first one. I think I'm gonna pick the Street Kid for sure as the first one. Street
Philip,
Kid,
it is
then
so good to see you again.
then
It's actually
corporate.
been a while since I've had a chance to interview you about Cyberpunk. So I think for today we'll start with a question that everybody wants to know. How does the path you pick affect your time in Night City?
It actually affects your time quite a lot throughout the whole game, but let's start at the beginning, because basically our game has 3 different starts depending on your life path. As an example, if you choose the Street Kid life path, you have lived most of your time in Night City. you know the streets, you know the gangs, you know the slang, you kind of know what's going on in the, let's say, lower life aspects of the
But
city.
it would be
which can,
cool
of
if you
course,
didn't
give
have to
lots
like
of
uncover
good
the map
opportunities also later on
in
the
town
game.
as street kid
But if you
because
start
you
as
know
a
it.
nomad, you actually used to be part of a nomad clan and a nomad family, because nomads that roam the deserts around Night City that we call the Badlands actually value their family above anything. But for one reason or another, you actually left that family behind, and now the beginning of the game for you will actually be how to get into Night City and how to make a new life there. Then you can also choose to actually be a corpo and choose the corporate life path. And that basically means that you're not at home in the streets of Night City or in the deserts of the Badlands, but actually inside the boardroom, because you rose the corporate ladder of the Arasaka Corporation, which basically gives you the ability to sometimes, read between the lines, read people when they're trying to do business, which of course can give you many nice opportunities later on.
That's
so this
cool,
isn't
but
just about the start
like
of
I
the
said,
game.
that's my
Can
second
you maybe
playthrough, not
help
first.
people understand how this translates into the gameplay?
We're not gonna be alright.
Yeah. So the thing is, we make Cyberpunk a real RPG, and part of that is that you can play your character from the start to the end. And of course, we have these life paths affecting the beginning of the game, but we wanted to make it so you have your life path opportunities throughout the whole game until the game is over. And as an
Did you see
example, we
the
do that by
writing
giving you
on the wall,
additional
"Fuck to
options and
death"?
dialogues. So
Nice
I
club.
can give you one specific example. And this is a mission where you have to steal a flathead robot from the Maelstrom gang. Basically, those Maelstromers
They
stole
showed
that
this
flathead
already.
before from a corporate transport. And the owner of that corporate transport, Meredith Stout, wants you to do something else. And this is an optional objective. And even within that objective, we want to give you some options. So as an example, if you have a corporate life path,
That's cool.
you basically know what Meredith Stout is really about. You can read between the lines and you can get some additional options that maybe actually later enable you to do a completely different thing with the Maelstrom gang. And if you're a nomad, you know exactly some more details about how these Maelstromers would have even been able to steal a robot like that from Meredith Stout, who's part of the very powerful Militech Corporation. As a street kid, we as an example don't give you a specific new dialogue option in that dialogue, because as a street kid, you do not have a lot of experience dealing with higher up people like Meredith Stout. But we want to give you additional options that fit your life path very well. So later when you actually talk to the Maelstrom gang, one member of the gang offers you some illegal substance, but as a street kid, you actually know what this is about. You can talk some shop with him, and that might actually make that character like you a little bit more.
So Philip, I do have
That's
a
how
couple
it should
of
be.
extra questions for you based
Don't
on
lock
the video
out
we just saw.
quests
and the
or
first is
anything,
about
but
nomads. So the
give you
nomad
more
life
opportunities
path, this
from your
starts
life
in
path.
a place called the Badlands. Is this somewhere you get to visit even if you don't pick nomad to start with?
Of course.
Yes, absolutely. So the thing is, Night
That's like
City
the most
is surrounded
dumb
by
question
this huge
ever.
landscape that we call the Badlands, and you can go there whenever you want. So as an example, if
I
you
wonder if
actually
nomads
do
are
play
better
the
with
nomad
cars
life
or
path at
something.
the start and you are in the Badlands, you can even see Night City on
Like
the horizon.
easier driving.
And we want to give you the option later
look
in
at
the
those
game,
rocks.
if you want, you can just take your car and drive out of the city. You can go there whenever you want. Thing is, you might not want to, because the Badlands can be a pretty dangerous place at first, because time has not been very kind to the Badlands. There have been many wars in the past. There's global warming. So most people that do live out there don't really have a lot of
Global
choice
warming,
about
fake.
it, or are nomads that
Fake
love
news.
this life and are all about it and are very battle-hardened. We, of course, also want to tell their stories, because we want to tell many, many different stories throughout the cyberpunk genre, which means that you will also find missions that lead you out in the Badlands or where you deal with the people living there.
So Philip, can you tell us a little bit more about the character Padre? He's the guy we see giving his business card to Street Kid V in the video. Who is this man?
Yeah, so Padre is actually one of the fixers in Night City. And fixers are people that work as intermediaries. So if someone who has a lot of money needs a problem solved, they go to a fixer. And a fixer then finds people who can solve that problem. And these people are people like you, V, cyberpunks. Fixers are very territorial. So Padre specifically works from Haywood, which is where you as a street kid grew up in, so you already know him. You might have already seen another one of our fixers, who is called Dexter Deshawn, and he works in a different part of the city. So specifically Padre, you might know him as a street kid, but even if you played other life paths, you might sooner or later meet him because he's operating in Haywood, which is a pretty big place with many good jobs. So if you want to make some cash there, you will sooner or later deal with Padre.
Philip, thank you so much for joining us. Now, on my first playthrough, pretty sure I'm going to be picking Nomad, but for those watching, we would love to know what you'll be picking. So have a think about it and send us a tweet. Don't forget, later in this episode, we're going to be showing you another new gameplay video and having a chat to Pavel, our senior gameplay designer, about just some of the tools of destruction that will be at your disposal in Night City. But before that, let's talk about
the music now.
Because music plays
DMCA
a huge
time.
part in bringing Night City to life.
Not really though.
Now in future episodes we're going to talk about things like radio stations
it's
and
really
even
cool.
the
They are they're recording the entire score for the music for the game.
To bringing Johnny Silverhand's
So no DMCA for you.
To life.
Every single song in game is gonna be.
I wouldn't write these lyrics for myself.
It's gonna be like original. That's badass.
So it's kind of interesting to get into like the mindset of who is this character and what would they write about, or what's their agenda. It's interesting to try to like catch a language that's his and try to catch a language that's like a part of this game. There is a reason why we're here.
It was Piotr maybe who was a fan of the band.
He knew Refused and he knew my voice and he said, oh, that's a perfect voice for Johnny.
And that they wanted, I guess, a sound that was a bit contemporary from when Johnny's supposed to have had the band.
Sunstorm.
He's sort of like an anti-establishment kind of guy.
Gonna drag a corporal rat on stage, make him kneel, douse him with gas, then light him up.
So of course there are things that you can relate to.
Oh, he got the logo
like
on the
this
jacket.
Outcast and this rebel that's fighting against like the corporals, and that's definitely something that's been a part of my life and a part of Refused life.
We came out of the punk rock scene of northern Sweden.
He's like the future version of it.
Zależy dla kogo.
So I think it makes
Dla
sense.
mnie immersive RPG takie są super, ale
to be here making these songs.
ludzie na pewno overhypują tą grę bardzo. Pełno ludzi, którzy ją nie będą lubili i nie zagrają. Mówi, że będzie super.
No trills. But yeah, but like wide vibrato.
It's no surprise that the game is overhyped. Everyone says it's gonna be amazing, but
we don't
only
have
half of those people
modes
or less will actually enjoy it and play it
so
fully.
We really worked on these songs.
People will complain that it's too long, too complicated.
They're not actually our songs.
It's interesting as a musician to play another musician, because that's essentially what we're doing. I mean, we're not here as Refused, we're here as Samurai. And I'm here with Johnny Silverhand.
So that's the band's logo, I think.
I'm here as someone else.
I think it's the band's logo.
It's been a mind fuck.
Nice tattoo. That's a studio in a house like that? That's pretty sick.
I mean, the shouting in itself is just like second nature to me, because I've been doing this for a very long time. But then when someone comes in and says,
I'm happy with everything except for Azalin. Again, it's Azza. Azza. Okay.
The shouting's great, but think of that accent, or think of that like enunciation. It's a bit weird because it's a very different way of singing when you're screaming like that, and it's hard to sort of
Swallowing some syllables there.
adjust your accent.
Oh yeah, just try it again.
So it's been a bit kind of frustrating.
It wasn't horrible, but it wasn't great.
But I mean, I get it. I mean, we have to maintain the illusion that this character that's a character of the game also is me, like when I'm singing it. So it makes sense. But yeah, it's a bit different to have someone telling you exactly how to enunciate things, because I'm not used to, usually people are just like give me a thumbs up and then like, you know, you think the things like the rhythm and you think about the pitch and you think about all these things, but then someone comes in and like, that word sounded weird. I'm like, what? No, that's how I sing. But so it's been a very, yeah, a bit painful at times, but it's all right.
See this zone, I'm chipping in. Roll the bones, I'm chipping in. Belt that cone, I'm chipping in. Mayhem drowns.
It's a very interesting
Oh, they're
thing
still
to be
going,
part
really?
of. As a person that's not a gamer, I don't think I fully understand the impact that this might have. If people like these songs and if people are excited, then that's going to be great. I mean, we are spending a lot of times trying to get this right, trying to get it to sound like, you know, like samurai would sound, you know. So it's quite interesting. It's a very different way of making music, actually.
There we go. Weapons time. They were showing like a shotgun and
You
a
can already
sword.
find 3 samurai tracks available on streaming services: Chippin' In, Never Fade Away, and The Ballad of Buck Ravers. But we're excited to announce a 4th new song called A Like Supreme, which is coming to streaming services today. That means you can check it out once the show is over. Don't forget that if you're tuning in late, or if you just want to watch anything again, we will be uploading everything to our channel soon. Next up, Pavel and I are going to introduce you to some creative ways that you can solve problems in Night City.
Oh, let's see some weapons. That's huge. Hopefully they're gonna show a lot.
Hey V, I have a job for you. A client of mine is making an arms deal. He needs protection. It could get hot, very hot. The gun dealers are Maelstrom. Alas, nothing ever transpires
Oh, the
as
swords.
planned with them.
Nice.
You better gear up for this.
It's cool you have like a workshop and you can just choose the guns on the go. And customize them, yeah. That's pretty sick. Okay, a lot of categories. Carnage. Smart weapons. SMGs. It seems like you can customize every single weapon. Pretty sick. Thermal katana. I wonder how viable melee is. Oh, we've seen the blades. Gorilla arms. Interesting.
Are you willing?
Yeah, I'm in.
I bet like gorilla arms, stuff like that is gonna be, you can open like doors without hacking them, shit like that.
Pavel, thank you
That's really
so
cool.
much for joining
That's how
me.
the
Now, there was
RPGs
an awful
should be.
lot in that video, right? Because it's more than just guns.
Absolutely. We have melee weapons, we have ranged weapons, we have cyberware, we have offensive cyberware, defensive cyberware, armor. We could talk for hours and hours
Thank
about
God he
this
didn't
stuff.
say melee
I think
weapons.
just for today's episode, we should keep it simple and let's just talk about guns. Can you tell us the different types of guns that will be in the game?
So we have 3 distinct types of guns in our game. We have power weapons, we have tech weapons, and we have smart weapons. Now, power weapons are the most similar to contemporary weapons. One thing they can do, which normal weapons cannot, is ricochet bullets off of surfaces. So you can hit somebody hiding behind cover or hiding behind a wall.
Cool.
Now, tech weapons, on the other hand, use electromagnetic power to propel a fully metal projectile to extreme velocities. What that allows them to do is to punch through cover or punch through walls to hit somebody who's not even aware that you're there. Smart weapons use guided missile technology to actually track targets in real time. So you can hit somebody who's dodging, running away from you, or you can hit somebody
those upgrades
who's
are
hiding
bound
behind
to weapon
so, Pavel,
types.
Cyberpunk
Interesting.
doesn't
I thought
just
it's
contain FPS
full
elements, right?
customization.
It's also a fully fledged RPG. So can you tell us how you guys approached introducing those RPG elements into gunplay?
So I can tell you one thing, Holly, it wasn't easy to merge those two elements together. Now, we've spent a considerable amount of time merging the RPG and FPP side of our game. What the player will experience is that V changes from a small-time mercenary to a legend in the world of Night City. V becomes more and more proficient in using weapons as the game progresses. So they will see that
it's kind of
reload
sick to play
times become shorter,
stealth with melee weapons.
the accuracy of your weapons grows. You will have faster
Seems like a
aiming
cool
time,
way to play.
You will move faster with your weapons. Everything becomes more in your control, and that gives you more opportunities to defeat the biggest encounters that we've designed for you.
So I have prepared a few extra questions for you, Pavel, if you're feeling up to it.
Of course.
Okay, well the first is going to be, how do you find more weapons in Night City? Like, where will players be looking for them?
So I expect the players to look everywhere for new and exciting weapons. You can, of course, buy weapons at vendor shops, and they will house an entire catalog of weaponry that you can get. However, the best weapons that you can find will be taken from enemies or loot caches that we have everywhere in Night City. The weapons rarities range from common through uncommon up to rare and then legendary.
You get rewarded for
and
looking
as they go
around,
in rarity,
finding caches.
They actually climb
That's
in
cool.
power. However, legendary weapons are very specific in such a way that they possess unique abilities that you will find on no other weapons in the game. The players will actually
It looked kind of weird, like the bullets didn't even go out of the gun.
Some legendary weapons, because maybe they need to choose whether to kill a person who holds the legendary weapons that they want, or to spare them because they like them as a character.
So next question, let's talk about weapon modification.
Dark Souls style.
What mods can
you
people
can kill
give
an
to their
NPC
weapons
forever
in Night City?
So we
just
have
to get
two
a
types
gun.
of modifications in the game. One of them would be modifications
That's kind
that
of
we
cool
call
too.
attachments.
Decisions.
So these would be scopes and silencers, and you can see them actually being attached to your weapon as you're playing the game. They give you statistics advantage, and they give you more opportunities in gameplay. The other
I kind of want to
mods
play
would
like
be
a
software mods.
street kid
Now, these
with
are
a
basically small chips
sword
that
and
you
a sniper
install
rifle
in
or
your
something like
weapon,
that.
and they actually change
Play
the
smart.
statistics of the gun. They
Rather
can give
than
you
just
damage,
go
they can
guns
give you
blazing.
accuracy, or they can give you more fire rate. Some of those mods actually change the gunplay on a more fundamental level, so they can give you non-lethal rounds, biochemical rounds, to tear through that armor even faster.
So I suppose for my final question, why don't you tell us about your favorite weapon then? Which is your favorite weapon so far in Night City?
Oh, there are so many weapons that it's hard to choose just one. But I can mention some manufacturers with their weapons that I absolutely adore. The first manufacturer would be Tsunami Defense Systems, who produces the sniper rifle Nekomata. That's a tech sniper rifle. That means that it can pierce through walls. So you can actually hit somebody who's hiding behind cover.
That seems like my
or who doesn't
playstyle.
even know you're there. Of course, I also
He
like
killed
a
the Joker.
close quarters
No.
approach. And what that needs is a shotgun. One of the shotguns that we have in the game is Budget Arms Carnage. Now, that thing is cast from pure steel, and it weighs a ton. However, you can cut a person clean in half with it. Another shotgun that I absolutely love, it's for a more refined approach,
Yeah, I
would
hope the
say.
AI is
It's
gonna
a
be
smart
good.
shotgun,
Enemy and
Tangtal
AI.
Zhuo. That thing has 8 barrels, and that means it can
They
track
definitely have
8
time to work
targets
on it, but-
independently. Now, killing an entire room.
That's what people
was never
complained about
simpler.
who played the game
Pavel,
already.
thank you so much for joining
That AI
me.
was kind of
Thank
meh.
you for having me.
I'm actually pretty interested to see what kind of weapons people discover when they play Cyberpunk for themselves. Before we end episode 2, this is a reminder that those who wish to dive deeper into the lore can now pick
there.
up The World
That's
of
it.
Cyberpunk 2077. This is a brand new book created in collaboration with
Hell
Dark
no.
Horse Books that will give you an
No spoilers here.
extensive look at what makes Night City tick before jumping into the game.
It's already
this
enough
November.
spoilers by watching
That is
those
it for today's
gameplay
episode.
trailers.
Thank you so much for joining
Okay,
us.
we're
Don't
done.
forget that if you've missed anything or if you just
Cool,
want to
cool.
watch again, we will be uploading
So,
everything to our channel shortly.
I'm pretty sure, of course,
Thank
I can
you
change
so
my
much
mind.
for tuning in,
but
and we'll be back with Night
I think
City
I'm gonna be
Wire
playing as
Episode
Street
3
Kid, my
soon.
first playthrough, of course, because we're gonna be playing the game multiple times if it's that good. I'm definitely a fan of like RPG and first person and shooter, all of that. Oh, that's a cool statue. Pretty cool. So yeah, I'm definitely gonna be first playthrough. Gonna be playing as probably Street Kid. I like the how Nomad sounds. The first mission, like bringing a package to the town, stuff like that. But I'm probably gonna be a Street Kid and something like swords and sniper rifles, and trying to sneak through, get as many as possible quietly, and then just like finish the rest with the heavy gun, something like that. I think I'm gonna be just going all tech, intelligence. Second playthrough we can go like all strength and maybe corpo, something like that.